we will be talking about variations. So for this one, we have 4 different kinds of variations, which are the direct variation, inverse variation, joint variation, and combined variation. So we would define direct variation as a variation in which the quotient of the two variables is a constant. It is sometimes called direct linear variation or direct proportion. So ito yung mga possible examples on how a direct variation is being read. So y varies directly as x, y is directly proportional to x, y is proportional to x. So it can be written as this one. So y is equal to kx, or y over x is equal to k, wherein k is the constant of variation or the constant of our proportionality. Let's have our examples. So if y varies directly as x and y is equal to 10 and x is equal to 2, find the constant of variation and the equation of the variation. So first, let's see that it has the keyword directly. And what we're going to find is the constant of variation, which is our k. So we have y is equal to kx. So isa-substitute lang po natin yung value ng y na 10 at yung value na x na 2 to find our k, which would give us 10 is equal to k times 2. Simplify, our k would be equal to 5. So now it's time for us to find the equation of the variation. To find the equation of the variation, isa-substitute lang natin si 5 kay k. So it's just that easy. So I believe that you can really do it. So like what I said, substitute. Therefore, our equation would be y is equal to 5x. For its graph, you have to make your table of values. For the table of values, at least 3 numbers or variables tayo. So I have -1, 0, and 1. As I plot it, the graph would be this one. So that is what our graph in our example looks like. So just plot the points and connect the dots. So now it is time for us to translate the statement into an equation. So as you can see, ito yung mga statements in which it's actually real-life situations and we're just going to turn them into an equation. So it says that the cost of vegetables varies directly as the number of kilograms bought. So you have your costs, which is C, and N, which is the number of kilograms. So varies directly, so lalagyan nyo lang siya ng equal sign, which would give us C is equal to KN. So never forget your K. So cost varies directly to the number of kilograms. So that's the technique. Usually the varies directly is just your equal sign. So now let's go on to our inverse variation. So it is defined as a variation which states that the product of two quantities is a constant. For example, you have y varies inversely as x and y is inversely proportional to x. You could write it this way, so you have y is equal to k over x or xy is equal to k. So as you can see, meron tayong comparison dun sa kanina. And then, don't forget that k should not be equal to 0 and x should not be equal to 0. So the k is the constant of the variation. For example, we have y varies inversely as x and y is equal to 22 and x is equal to 3. Find the constant of variation and the equation of the variation. So keyword here, inversely. So remember our given formula, y is equal to k over x. So y and then x, substitute lang. So kapag sinabing inversely, hindi siya katapat kasi direct yan. So siya is nasa denominator dapat kasi inverse. So when you say inverse, dapat nasa baba siya, fraction. So substitute lang tayo. 22 is equal to k over 3. Wherein our k would be equal to 66. So to find the equation of the variation, ganun pa rin, substitute nyo si k sa given na k dito. So k, y is equal to 66 over x. And for our graph, here we have this one. So if y varies inversely as x and y is equal to 22 and x is equal to 3, this would be the graph. So pag ganito siya. So like what I said kanina, just make your own table of values and then plot your points, wherein x should not be equal to 0. So let's translate. The electric current varies inversely and the resistance are at a constant voltage. So varies inversely, keyword inverse. So E would be equal to K over R. Kasi si E daw, inverse niya ay si R. So E, R. Don't forget the K. Constant naman si K, so lagi lang siyang nandyan. So that would end our lesson for today, and I hope that you learned something new. Thank you!